Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to Beyond Conversations with Saharawan. I'm your host and founder of Beyond Talent. In this space, we share stories, raw filter moments of our leaders beyond their titles, beyond their designations. Today, I'm really honored and pleased to have Fatima Razzaqi with us for episode 6. Fatima Razzaqi is a well known physiotherapist and a healthcare professional with over 6 years of experience in rehabilitation as well as inclusion. She currently serves as clinical director of physiotherapy for Special Olympics Bahrain. Her work extends beyond clinical practice into research, community impact, including publishing for the first physiotherapy protocol for ataxia telangiectasia. Through her leadership and dedication to patient care, Fatima continues to contribute to the advancement of physiotherapy and healthcare in Bahrain. It's a pleasure to have you. السلام عليكم. شلون لك شخبارش فاطمة؟
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Thank you for having me.
It's my complete pleasure.
Thank you.
Fatima, thank you so much for joining us today in Beyond Conversations, talking about you, about your journey in physiotherapy. You're seeing so many clients, so many patients every day, aligning them, balancing them. Who is Fatima beyond those things, beyond your title?
That's a very deep question. Fatma is a loving, a caring person, a person that worries about others before she worries about herself. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. But in my profession, it serves me well. I'm a very ambitious person and sometimes gets the best of me. And whatever I put my hands in, I have to perfect it. So I'm a perfectionist in nature. And those who are perfectionists, they know it's a blessing and a curse.
It is that's how it is. Coming back to your career in physiotherapy, why did you choose physiotherapy?
Physiotherapy chose me. I didn't choose it. It sounds cliche, but I wanted to be a cardiologist. I didn't want to ever be a physiotherapist. I didn't know what's physiotherapy actually until I got the opportunity. So at first, when I got the opportunity to become a physiotherapist, I refused it completely. I thought it was something that I'm better than that. I'm better than physio. But apparently, physio suits me a lot. It's very nice. It's a field that can be incorporated in all fields of medicine, going from cardiopulmonary to women's health to post-surgery, name it, and physiotherapy is there.
As you mentioned, you never thought you'll be in physio. Was there any defining moment you thought that this is the right path? I chose the right title, right designation?
I think it started in the internship itself. So when you study in University of Bahrain, usually they take you internship in the second year. So I was going to multiple hospitals, and one of the hospitals was Salmani Hospitals, and I had round in Euro. So I think that happened is that when I was walking the corridor, a female came and she's a middle-aged lady and she hugged me. I didn't recognize her at first. And then I was like, sorry, but I don't recognize you. And she was like, I am the patient that you have treated on this bed at this ward. And when you used to move my joints and wasn't able to speak, you used to recite some of the Quran and dua and prayers. So you made me so comfortable and used to come every day and off, and do that to me. And I was like, really? So people remember you, and you think that what you're doing is very less. It's your usual routine, but it touches people in different ways.
It's amazing, mashallah. Talking about your patient, about so many people you are helping in physio, of course. I would like to know, many people underestimate this field. So what do you think? Is there something people don't know about physio you like to share?
I love it. This question is very nice because for a long period, physiotherapy was, let's say, the underdog of medical field. Okay, and for a long period, physios used to get commands from other medical professions I will not say specific fields or specific professions so that nobody gets disappointed. But as a board of directors and head of public relations of physiotherapy, it is my role to shed the light on how important physiotherapy is. So as I told you, physiotherapy is a multidisciplinary field. So you go, do you know that people who finish cardiac surgeries, they get physiotherapy the first time they open their eyes, they see physios and nurses. This is one, this is the CCU. And then you go for a person who's suffering from asthma, he also sees a physiotherapist because your lung is a muscle. And then when you give birth, later when you have problems, a physiotherapist is your best friend. And then we'll go to ortho and sports injuries. The career of an athlete is in the hands of a physio. So we are as important as other medical fields. And I always say that you don't know how important physiotherapy is until physiotherapy is your only answer.
Beautifully explained and very well said. I do agree. We actually overlook this part, and it's very important for our health. So, Fatima, coming back to your career as a clinical director of physiotherapy in Bahrain, especially for Bahrain Olympics Committee, right? Do you think this job has teach you determination and resilience?
Massively. It changed the way that I look at things. In terms of what? When I got selected to be the Special Olympics Clinical Physiotherapy Director, it was something that came out of the blue. So I was like, okay, let me check it out, how far it will take me. So the first thing that happens is that our country, especially the General Sports Authority, they send you to a course before you handle any athlete in Special Olympics. So this course was done in Oman and I was taken there. And it was a 2-day course where they teach you how to deal with athletes, how to assess athletes and the categories that you are dealing with. Now here we call them Special Olympics because they're special. Because although they have difficulties in their social life, they were able to achieve the same or maybe exceed the normal athletes that do not have any challenges. And that was nice. And then the third day, you get to interact with hundreds of athletes who have those special, let's say, special skills. And it was nice. It was something out of the comfort zone. It was something that I'll say it added to my career a milestone.
Wow. So what do you think, how important is innovation and, being creative and the research part in healthcare?
It is very nice. And here it is a bit tricky because you have to learn that patient care is more important than your research. And the patient is not a number. It's not something that you're testing. Yeah, you have to be very careful because this is a human being that you're dealing with. After I had my meeting with the Minister of Health and we were talking about the research, and she told me this sentence. She told me, Fatma, patient care comes above research. So if you have your goals, please make them in line with your patient care. Please always think of the patient before the number, before the scientific things. So this differs a physiotherapist from another physiotherapist. That's what makes you special, is that you care. Empathy is power in physiotherapy.
It's a very important element for a physiotherapy to have empathy, and basically you're treating your patients as a mother, right?
Exactly.
I would like to know a very proud moment happened in your life where you published a protocol for ataxia telangiectasia.
Correct.
What inspired you for that work?
Okay, so the case came to me through a family member, and it was something that I have never heard from before, and the orthopedic surgeon that even referred the patient, he didn't hear of it. Ataxia telangiectasia, the word itself is heavy.
Exactly.
So when a mother comes in and she receives a diagnosis of that, I think she's overwhelmed, she's scared, she's trying to research everything that you think about it. So the same thing happens to healthcare workers. But the difference between us and the mother, we cannot show our emotions. So we have to provide comfort for the family and the caregivers. So over here, I started doing my research and thinking, okay, so this is a case that has no protocol, no national guidelines, international guidelines to treat the patient
At all in
at
Bahrain.
all, at all. And then I have to pick symptom, and each symptom treats it as a separate case, and then join them all together and create a map for treating this patient. So I was like, okay, now what can I do? And I opened the research. I saw only one international research. It was done in Turkey for the assessment. So I started treating the patient day after day and recording everything, her reaction, what she did, how it went, did it help or didn't help the case. And then I finished 1 year and a half, and I have registered everything, the before
Amazing.
and after. And the way that the mother and the family were very comfortable with me, and the fact that they become part of your life somehow after 1 year and a half.
Yeah.
And when we published this paper, and it was called A Bahraini Child with Ataxia Telangiectasia, it was a proud moment, and at the same time a relief that you can release something to the world, that people can remember you and take it as a guideline.
Wow. Amazing. Those are the moments we live by, right?
True.
You look back and they will always be forever part of you, of your journey. So, Fatima, what do you believe about leadership, especially you're working in healthcare? How do you define leadership?
Leadership is not for everyone. It's challenging. It will help you grow. It will, let's say, it will shape you into a different person because it challenges you in every different way. And the most important skill that you should have or should possess when coming into leadership is emotional intelligence and selfless. You have to be a selfless person. If you're a selfish person who likes to think about their own goals, you can never lead a group because you will lead them towards what Fatma wants. But here, Fatma is not important. I have to manage talents, let's say skills, and try to unite each and every one and become a partner more than an agitator, let's say. Yeah? So there's a
Exactly.
fine line between leadership and becoming a dictator.
As you were speaking about emotional intelligence, how important it is to have emotional intelligence, especially for women.
Ah, yes. In this age, and where all the fields are dominated by men mostly, it's challenging because a female, if she responds, she's a very responsive and reactive person. If she didn't respond, then she's a passive person. And then if she's caring, then she's too empathetic to take a leadership position.
That is
Yeah.
where balancing happens, right? What do you
Yes.
believe about balancing? You're speaking about growth, healthcare, responsibilities, jobs. How do you balance all these things together?
So I believe, like, because I am in several committees, I have learned to become patient. This is one. Two, you have to always think before you respond.
True.
Yes. And then thirdly, know when to listen. Fourthly and lastly, which is most important, there is power in silence.
Very well said. Beautifully put together, Fatima. Um, Talking about balancing and also emotional intelligence, I want to know what keeps you grounded.
What keeps me grounded? When I first began my career, my grandfather, he gave me a very nice advice. He says, Fatma, know your size. Don't allow a person to come and over exaggerates and comes and showers you with compliments, and then you believe it, and then you reach so high that you fall off the cliff. And then don't allow a person to minimize your efforts or your work to the point where you cannot even see yourself. So know your worth and know your size.
Wow, mashallah. Very, very nice. Coming back to success, leadership, how do you define success right now in your career?
When we were small, we used to think that success is becoming this big image that people see on TV. The people who control, have positions. When you become a manager, you're a most successful person. When you have your PhD, it's not. It's having the peace of mind in every level that you have reached. It's when you reach that level or the position that you want, you never hurt anyone. You never stepped on anybody. This is success. This means this is your hard work. Success means you're not comparing yourself to other people.
You don't have to prove anything.
And you don't have to prove anything. Success can be as small as you finished your workout today. This is also success.
Exactly.
But to a person that is very ambitious, I think whatever level I have reached, I don't think so it's enough. Then there is another level to climb. So it's a climbing ladder.
As a woman in healthcare, did you feel pressurized or you felt different?
As a woman in healthcare, we think of it as a superpower that we have empathy. We can connect with caregivers easily. We can break the iceberg between us and the patient. And instead of the patient getting used to us in 3 sessions, he can get used to us in the first session itself. And we have something called gut feeling, which we succeed. And I think it gives us a leverage over men in healthcare.
Very well said, Fatima.
Yes. Okay.
As a young girl, have you ever thought that you will be in this profession? Did you like playing like doctor games, or you had any other plans growing up?
See, as a kid, if you leave me with a bunch of children, I would always lead them to something. Either if it is mischievous things or is it something to build a game or something. So I always knew that I had leadership in me. I always knew that I cared about other people. So if a person got hurt, I'll be the first person to help. So I always knew that I will be in a profession that helps other people. But what it is specifically, I had no idea.
And then it just happened, right?
God's
And
plan.
It's God's plan, alhamdulillah. And what advice you would like to give young professionals who are entering in healthcare?
I would like to advise them on several things. First of all, you never stop studying. If you stop studying, that means this profession is not good for you and you're not well fit for it. Second of all, if you're treating people as numbers, then you will not be unique in any ways or form. You'll be an average. And if you're satisfied with that, then that's good. Third of all, you have to always have patience and try to learn. Be like a sponge and try to learn from everything, from people's mistakes, from people's good clinical judgment, from how a person carries themselves. The way that you speak will take you to places. So try to have best of the both worlds. Be good in your studies.
Very important message. It's very important to have a mindset of growth, but also to know your value and what you bring to the table, and smart enough to utilize it.
True.
If you could speak to your younger self, what it would be?
Have patience. You will get there. Everything will happen. Everything that you have kept on your board in a random new year, you will get it. Trust in God's plan.
Alhamdulillah. Amazing. What one advice you can share with people who are watching you? Any message you want to share?
That ambition has no ceiling. And that in order for you to guide your ambition, look at it as if it's a car and you have to guide it into the correct route. So be patient and work through the map. Do not rush, because as soon as you rush, you will crash.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Fatima. It was a pleasure having you. I really don't want to end this episode because it was just like I'm speaking to my friend. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for giving me the platform to speak and to reach many people, and hopefully, inshallah, inspire somebody to become a physiotherapist.
Inshallah, why not? Thank you.
Thank you.